Welcome to Dark Wave, where powerful stories unfold. We delve into character development, exploring the trials of interracial struggles and prejudice. When Dark Wave emerges, expect action. Also, love deep stories with powerful action. Subscribe to Dark Wave and be part of the journey. Like, comment, and hit the bell. Your support helps us create even better stories with the resources we need.
Dark Wave.
Dark Wave, Episode 2, Unexpected Feelings.
At Seoul University, brilliance isn't the only thing that sparks. Sometimes, it's the unexpected moments between two people that leave the deepest impact. This is the origin story of Dark Wave, but his origin starts in the past with his future parents, James Miniker and Gia. James had noticed Gia long before she noticed him. A glance in a library, a shared elevator ride, nothing more than glimpses until the third encounter changed everything. The third semester brought the Science Symposium, a prestigious event filled with Seoul's brightest. James, among them, was ready to present his research on CRISPR and gene editing. CRISPR offers precise gene editing capabilities, and with further development, it can cure genetic disorders before birth. Then, in the middle of his presentation, he saw her. Gia sitting in the coveted chair closest to the hologram projector, where the visuals were optimal. Gia, watching him intently, unlike the previous times, finally noticed him. After his holographic presentation ended, Gia approached him with a smile. "That was impressive. So you like redheads, huh?" James looks back at her. "Yes, but I like brunettes and black hair too. I just said red because cinnamon-colored hair has a warmth to it." James smiling. "I didn't realize you were working on CRISPR." James' response, "Yeah, it's my passion. There's so much potential in gene editing." They both talked for a few minutes, exchanging thoughts on genetic research and the future of biotechnology. Gia was as sharp and insightful as James had imagined, but there was also a warmth to her that he hadn't expected. For the first time, James felt like he had made a real connection with her. As she walked away, he couldn't help but smile. Maybe, perhaps, he was starting to feel that he belonged here. A new subheading, Second Impressions. James was a quiet force, respected, even feared, not for aggression but presence. As a Black American in Seoul, he carried his uniqueness with pride. But with Gia, it was different. Gia was graceful, intelligent, and beautiful, but fear kept her from getting too close to James. Despite their growing bond, she hesitated. James could sense it. Her walls were built not out of dislike or mistrust, but out of fear. Fear of judgment from society, fear from her peers, fear of the whispers, and perhaps fear of breaking norms that had long been established. James hadn't confessed his feelings directly, but he hoped that through his actions, Gia could see. Then came the night it all changed. Gia was in trouble. James had been walking back to his dorm when he noticed three rough-looking guys were harassing Gia near the college gates. Two street thugs surrounded her. Their leader was about to make his move on Gia, their voices taunting and cruel, while she backed away, her face pale with fear. James' fists clenched as he quickened his pace. He didn't need to hear their words. He could feel the tension from across the street. "Hey!" James shouted, his voice booming. The three men turned, their sneers faltering slightly as they saw the tall, broad-shouldered foreigner approaching. "Back off," the leader warned, stepping between Gia and their leader. The thuggish leader scoffed, "This has nothing to do with you, foreigner. Run before you get hurt." Before James could respond, their leader lunged with a knife. Years of training in grappling and self-defense taught by his father kicked in. In fluid, precise movements, James sidestepped the attack, countering with a swift elbow to the ribs, catching the arm and bending the elbow. With a slight twist of the hand, he dislocated the thumb. The thug was down. Getting up, he ran, then the other two followed. Though James hated violence and confrontations, he tried to apply as little of violence as possible, which is why he learned to end fights quickly using dislocating techniques. After removing themselves from the situation, James softly asked, "Are you okay?" "I hate violence, but I will protect the people I care about," James said, not realizing just how personal a statement he had made. She nodded slowly, her widened eyes locked onto his as she thought, he cares about me? Well, that concludes this section of Chapter 1. Stay tuned for next week as she makes a decision and see how others react, starting with the subheading, The Professor's Wrath. Please like, share, and subscribe, and tell everyone you know to like and subscribe to this channel so that we can produce 3 to 4 chapters of this book. See you in a week and a half with more